Hi guys, so this first video is on understanding irrational numbers. Alright, so this is a recap from what we did in class on Monday. Alright, so every number we talk about is a real number. Alright, let me put those into two categories. There's rational numbers and then there's irrational numbers. So rational numbers, I'm going to just list some out, can be whole numbers. Right, and whole numbers are things like 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. They can be integers. Integers are my negative numbers and positive numbers. We also have terminating decimals. Like 12.0 or negative 5.125. And repeating decimals. That's like 1.333. Alright, so all of these things make up rational numbers. So then irrational is just pretty straightforward, right? Irrational numbers are numbers that go on forever with no pattern. Alright, and what's interesting is that these numbers can never be turned into a fraction, and that's why they're irrational. So they look like just like a random assortment of numbers. Okay? So we're going to classify these as irrational and rational. But before we do that, our first step is to turn all numbers into their decimal form. Alright? Because that will help us classify them. Or at least compare them. Alright, so before I get started, I'm just going to fix my two that are not in their decimal form. So in my calculator, I'm going to do the square root of 62. And that is 7. I'm just going to write a few numbers because I see it continues to go on forever, so I put my dot, dot, dot. And then 13 divided by 1 in my calculator is just negative 13. So I'm going to write that as 0.0 so that we know that it stops. Alright, so now I go through my list. Let's look at this first one. What type of number is this? It is repeating. So since it is repeating, it is rational. Alright, the next one is terminating. So it is also rational. Alright, a third one. I see that it goes on forever. Is it repeating? Nope. So that is rational. Irrational, sorry. And same thing on the next one. It's going on forever, but it doesn't have a pattern, so it is not repeating, so it is not rational. And lastly, negative 13 is in fact an integer, which is rational. All right. Is the number 65.4349224 rational or irrational? So this number is blank because, what do you think? It is irrational because it goes on forever without pattern. Alright, same thing. Is this number rational or irrational? So I'm going to put this into my calculator. And we get 50. So, let me write this a little nicer. So this number is what? It is rational because I could say a few things. I can say because it's a whole number, or I could say because it's terminating. How can you tell if a square root is rational or irrational? Alright, so again, we need to put it in its decimal form and see if it either terminates, like 50 did, or if it goes on forever without a pattern, like this number did.